If Instagram deleted your account tomorrow, how many leads would you actually lose? Most of us are pouring hours into content, but is it actually doing anything? In today's episode, you'll learn how to figure out exactly which social media platforms are worth your time and which ones are just keeping you busy. So stay tuned. Hello. It's so nice for me to be here with you. I've been on a 2-week-long holiday. You didn't even know that I was away, did you? I batched all my podcast episodes, as I always do, and it provided me with 2 weeks to be able to go camper vanning. Yes, Salome went camper vanning. I always say my definition of camping is bad room service. But Emil, my husband, convinced me that we should drive up north and go find sunshine. And you know, your girl is always cold. So I was all for driving north to find sunshine. And it's been a 2-week camper van adventure. We drove northern Queensland. We drove all the way past Hervey Bay. I discovered Bowen, which I fell in love with. Shout out to any listeners in Bowen. If you live in Bowen and you listen to the podcast, send me an email, podcast@thelaunchlounge.com. I want to know you because I fell in love with your little mango town. And we went to Ellie Beach and Mission Beach and Yeppoon and all the beautiful, beautiful beaches along the coast of Queensland right next to the Great Barrier Reef. I really feel incredibly lucky to live in such a beautiful part of the world. And over the course of the next few episodes, I will tell you a few things about our holiday if you want. Now, which social platforms should you really be on? Here's a question for you. If Instagram deleted your account tomorrow, how many leads would you actually lose? Real leads. If Instagram deleted your account tomorrow, how many leads would you actually lose? I'm thinking most of you are in one of two camps about this. Either you don't know the answer to this question, and there's no judgment, because if you asked me like a few months ago, even a year ago, at any point in the last 7 years, if you asked me that question, I wouldn't have been able to tell you. I can today. But if Instagram deleted your account tomorrow, how many leads would you actually lose? If you can't answer that question, that means you're not tracking how well your Instagram followers are converting to leads on your email list. Now, some of you might instantly answer that question and say, oh, I'll lose all 3,000 of my followers, or I'll lose all 500,000 of my followers. And to that, my friend, I say, those people are not leads. They are just fans. And if you are not sure how many of them are actually coming off of social media and joining your email list, then today's episode is going to be for you. Now, you know that I like to tell you all the mistakes that I made as well. And I will share with you that I had 1,000 Instagram followers. Now, I know you think 1,000, that's nothing. But this is 2016, right? Back in 2016, almost 10 years ago. And back then, accounts didn't grow like they do today. They did not grow as fast. The fast growth is sort of a TikTok thing, and it is kind of a Reels thing. I'm talking about 2016 Instagram. Like, we were posting one photo at a time, and our accounts was growing one person at a time, but they were engaged. So I had 1,000 followers on Instagram before I had 100 leads on my email list. And that same year, I quit. I quit my online business, my whole business. I quit, and I went back to my day job because I believed it was too hard to get enough people on a webinar to sell my online course that ironically was about going live on Facebook. So I know that most people post just to post. We post because our mentors post. We post because there's people we follow on Instagram or wherever, Pinterest, LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever, because they're posting. And we want businesses like theirs. And so we do what they do, right? But what is the goal of your last post? Can you tell me? Do you know what the goal is of your last post? Do you have a goal for your last post? Can you tell me off the top of your head? Was it a top of funnel, middle of funnel, or bottom of funnel post? Was the purpose to connect? Was it to educate? Or was it to convert? Which one was it? Because it would be one of those three. But if you don't know, then you might need to think about this a little bit. So, was it to grow your business or just to, get a little digital pat on the back? If your content on social media isn't moving people off of the app and onto your list, it's not doing its job. I want you to think of your social media like Airbnb. You can decorate it, you can invite guests, and you can even host a great party. But at the end of the day, you don't own the house. The landlord, also known as the algorithm, can change and lock you out, shut down your visibility, or boot you from the house at any time. I just heard from a student who tells me because she's in the health and wellness space, Meta has completely blocked her ad account. She can't do anything. And it's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And I know that it's a glitch, but her account is stuck in that glitch. And so the only solution is to create a new account because Meta doesn't care. And it doesn't matter how many times she talks to customer service, they're not going to fix it. And I've been there. Your email list is your home. You own it. You control the keys. You control the guest list. You get to boot people if they don't behave. And you get to create the experience inside your home. I wonder if you knew that the average organic reach on Instagram is just 8%. That means if you have 1,000 followers, only about 80 of them are seeing your posts. And I'll tell you, I think it's even less than that. And maybe that's just because my account is not, as relatable and as engaging as an account by an artist or some kind of, creative person. Business accounts tend to get a little bit less engagement in my own defense. But only 80 people of 1,000 will see your post. But with email, the average open rates are somewhere between 30 and 40%. That's not just higher. The ownership level is much higher because you can communicate with that 40 or 30 or 40% anytime. I had a client who had a post go kind of semi-viral. She got 100,000 views from it. And from that 100,000 views, she probably got about 200 new followers, which, give me 200 new followers any day. It will give me all the dopamine. I tell you, all the dopamine. I would love that. I would feel great. But when she sent a single email with a strong offer and a personal story, she made $4,500 in 24 hours. And that is the difference between attention and action. Dopamine and cash. Which one would you rather? Now, like I say, I wouldn't mind the dopamine, but the cash is going to go a lot further in paying for camper van vacations, right? So remember, social media is rented land and email is owned. You own your email list. You don't control the algorithms, but you can control your list. Your list is where you nurture and where you sell and where you build long-term trust, not just where you get attention. So why shouldn't you be everywhere? Why is it bad to be everywhere? Or why is it a problem when you're everywhere? I want you to imagine having 5 conversations at once. You've got one person on Zoom, another one texting you, someone else in your DMs, your toddler pulling your sleeve, your partner asking what's for dinner, how many of them are you actually communicating? That sounds like Tuesday, except for the toddler. Thank goodness I don't have that anymore. That's what it's like when you try to be on every social media platform at once. You're showing up everywhere, but not impacting anywhere. I recently had a conversation with Emil, my husband, kindly requesting, or okay, maybe I banned him from calling me during work hours. Now, let me explain. He is a loving man who loves to check in. My husband is very driven by connection, and he's the most thoughtful man in terms of just making me part of his everyday. Because I really think he misses me when he's at work. Man loves me very much. And, who blames him? So he loves checking in when he, takes a coffee break or buys lunch or something. He'll just pick up the phone and quickly call me. But I work from home and I have ADHD, which means at any given time, I am either in a hyper focus and I will turn into a fire-breathing dragon if I am interrupted, or I'm trying really, really, really hard to get things done without distractions. And there are many distractions during my average day. One kid comes home at 3, the other one comes home at 4. Odie barks every 30 minutes. The Amazon delivery guys ring the bell 3 times a day. And there's garden and pool guys and maintenance men and doing repairs and all sorts of things. So when he calls, poor guy, he's the only one I can get mad at. And that is what it's like when you spread yourself too thin, trying to be everywhere without really being anywhere. Hear me when I say this. You don't need more platforms. What you need is a clearer pathway from content to click to conversion. One platform to get discovered, one place to build trust, and one way to opt into your email list. So stop posting on 5 different platforms because you think it's going to build your business faster. Start asking, every action I take on this platform, how is this helping me build my email list? And each social media platform plays a different role in that process. And so you need to ask yourself, am I on the right platform? Am I doing the right things on the right platform in order to build my email list? So let's look at these different platforms a little bit. Let's start with Instagram Reels, because I feel like most of you are probably posting on Instagram. And I'm specifically talking about Reels, but what I'm not talking about is stories, right? By Reels, I mean the news feed. So that can be carousel, it can be single posts, it can be all sorts of videos. The best use of your content there is for visibility. It's top of funnel content. It is short, viral hooks with strong calls to action that leads to a lead magnet. Reels get seen mostly by new people. It gets pushed out to people in their For You page. And mostly it gets seen by people who don't already follow you. Stories, on the other hand, is great for building trust and for nurturing your community, or your audience. It is mid or bottom of funnel content, right? So you're going to use stories to build relationships with your followers. So Reels, carousels gets more followers. Stories builds relationship with those followers. And then Stories is also a great place where you're going to share results, testimonials, behind the scenes, and you're going to have clear calls to action for them to take the next step to download your freebie or sign up for your waitlist or for your webinar. The feed and the carousels do also serve that middle of funnel content purpose a little bit. Carousels tend to be quite educational. And so that can also be middle of the funnel content. And I use carousels a lot for middle of the funnel content. So if you want to go to Instagram, the underscore launch underscore lounge is my handle. And you'll see how I repurpose podcast content into reels there, which works really great because it's a different way to process information in a visual way or reading, right? By reading. And again, you want to share a call to action on those reels and those carousel posts for those, feed and carousel posts, because it's educational content that naturally leads your lead to a freebie or a waitlist or something. Now, YouTube is a little bit different. YouTube is better for long form and it's better for SEO, which means you're not likely to go viral very quickly. It means people are probably going to linger before they become subscribers, and they might consume a lot of content before they actually take any action. The good news is your YouTube channel is going to snowball. It's going to grow and grow and grow and grow slowly. But once that snowball gains momentum, it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. It's not like Instagram where you stop posting today and nothing happens, and by nothing happens, everything stops, right? YouTube keeps going even when you haven't posted for a while. So it's great for top of funnel content, but it's also great for SEO. So if you know what your ideal customer is searching on, you post on YouTube. And it's great for evergreen content. So if you have things that are not, that aren't going to age, a lot of the Facebook ad stuff doesn't translate well to evergreen because, you talk about it today and tomorrow Meta's changed it. So evergreen contents work really well. And you're going to add your links in the description. And that's where you're going to talk about your lead magnets and you're going to mention it in the videos as well. Now, let's talk about LinkedIn for a second, because I feel like LinkedIn is the dark horse here. From what I'm learning and from what I'm reading, I'm quite excited about using LinkedIn. And I haven't, because I'm having this conversation with you today and I'm not spreading myself too thin. But once I have the capacity, I'm excited about starting to use LinkedIn because it works really well for niche authority. So with niche authority, because your content is going to be found by your exact right ideal customer very quickly on LinkedIn, you can put top of funnel, medium, middle of funnel, or bottom of funnel content there, and it's all going to work for you, as long as it's good quality content that solves a pain point for your ideal customer. It's more geared towards thought leadership, which a lot of course creators are thought leaders, and it is more geared towards, of course, people who wear suits. And by wear suits, I mean people who work in offices or have more professional approach to their work. A lot of coaches use LinkedIn very effectively, particularly business coaches. I know a lot of entrepreneurs are on LinkedIn, even though they don't wear suits. But LinkedIn is a great place to connect with people who are really looking for your expertise. And they're not looking for someone to do a dance and point to words on a screen. They're there to read something. They're there to consume quality content. And then Pinterest is the other wonderful sleeping giant. Pinterest is great for passive evergreen traffic. Again, Pinterest is not something that you're going to go viral on tomorrow if you post the right video, right? Pinterest is more of a slow slog, and it is a little bit more of a gentle, over time, snowball effect sort of growth that you can expect there. But Pinterest is great if you have blog post content, or if you can SEO your stuff to keep sending people to your website. And if your website is set up, there's a lead magnet on every blog post. There is, lead magnets for them. There's wait lists for them. There's things that they can opt into. There's content they can consume. They can read your blog posts. They can find your podcast. Then Pinterest is going to be your friend. And Pinterest is probably, I want to say, one of the easiest platforms to create content for, because nothing that you're going to put on there is going to go massive today. You're going to put so many different things on there before it's going to start growing and really making an impact, that it's all easy to templatize and just keep posting. Now, how do you choose what the best platform is for you? I think the first place to start is to say, where does my ideal customer already spend time? If you're in the crafts or hobbies niche, then Pinterest is definitely where you want to be, and maybe so is Instagram. If you're a business coach, then maybe it's LinkedIn and YouTube. I've spoken to many, many course creators who have never touched Instagram, and they don't regret it a day because they built really good audiences and really good connections on LinkedIn and YouTube, right? So try that. Ask yourself which platform makes it easiest for me to link to my freebie or my webinar. Now, I'm going to say Instagram doesn't make it super easy, right? You don't know if you're DMing a keyword or next thing you have to follow before you can DM, and then it's link in bio, and then it's, you can click. It's just, I think Instagram is all over the shop in terms of where they send people with links, and it's confusing. So, maybe that's not the best place to start if that's something that's going to stop you, or if it's something that you're going to have trouble tracking. Same for Facebook, right? I haven't even mentioned Facebook. YouTube is super easy because you can link to so many different things in that description. And the problem is you are probably going to link to a whole bunch of things, and people are more likely to click on something if it's the only thing that's in there. So make a decision based on what works for you. And once you've made that decision, test it and track it. Post on that platform using whatever link strategy you have for 30 days. And then evaluate whether it worked or not. And if you think it worked okay, keep going. See if you can grow it. And if you think it didn't work, then try something different. The other question you can ask yourself is, where do I enjoy creating content? And this is has more to do with the media that you put on there. I absolutely love video. And I would love to have unique videos go up on YouTube every week. I can't wait until I can do that. At the moment, I don't have the capacity for that. But when I do, I will, because I love video. I will definitely outsource Pinterest, because creating pins that are all based on the same templates over and over and over and over and over for the same blog posts will literally drive me to drink at noon. So I know that Pinterest is not my favorite way to create content, but YouTube is. And for now, I can use Instagram really effectively, because it gives me a nice sweet balance between doing video and doing some text-based posts. And then ask yourself, which one can you be consistent on with a clear call to action? Which one can you sit down and create a 30-day posting plan, batch your content and schedule it and be done with it, so that you only have to engage once a day really quickly? Get in, reply to comments, get out. You do not want social media to take over your workday. So remember, you're not creating content for claps. You're creating content for clicks. Every post needs to have a purpose. Get them to take the next step. If it's top of funnel content, that next step can be follow me, or share this, or drop an emoji. If it's middle of the funnel content, again, tell me how you're struggling with this, or leave a comment if you've learned something. Tell me what you've learned. And bottom of funnel content, DM me to get the resource, or sign up for my webinar. That's where we put the call to action very clearly to join our email lists. You don't need more views. You just need more qualified leads on your list. So call to action should be the first thing you think about when you start creating social media content, not the last thing. I want you to know this. You don't need a bigger following. You need a better funnel. Social media isn't your business. It's the front door to your business. It brings people in. And what you do once they're inside your home, that is going to determine how good you are at turning those dopamine hits into cash. Let's wrap this up. You don't need to be everywhere. You don't need to be remembered somewhere. You don't need a bigger following. You need a better funnel. You don't need more content. You need more connection. And you don't need to chase the algorithm. What you do need is to show up and lead your audience. Every single post you create should have a purpose, not just to entertain, but to invite. Not just to be seen, but to spark action. Because when you're strategic, consistent, and intentional, your content stops being noise and it starts building momentum for you in your business. So here's your invitation. Stop chasing the dopamine and start focusing on how you can use social media to build your email list. Ask yourself, when was the last time someone joined your list because of a post? When was the last time someone joined your email list because of a social media post? And if you can't answer that question, then, my friend, I want to challenge you to really think hard about what you're doing on social media. Now, if you want the guide that I only send to my email subscribers, and this episode maybe made you rethink about how you're showing up on social media, you're going to love this exclusive freebie. But here's the catch. It only goes out to my email list. And if you're on my email list, you will already have received maybe about 10 of these. Inside today's episode's special exclusive email list only guide, I'm going to share a simple system to choose exactly which platforms are worth your time, a weekly content plan that's actually sustainable and doesn't lead to burnout, and my favorite call to actions that turn followers into subscribers who buy. There's no fluff, no overwhelm, just a focused plan to finally make social media work for your business. And you can go to thelaunchlounge.com/podcast freebie to grab your copy now. Get on the list to access this exclusive email list only podcast bonus content, because I save my best stuff for my subscribers. Thank you for listening. I'll be back here again on Thursday. Bye. Before you go, if today's episode helped you, imagine how many more lives could be transformed if other creators, coaches, and experts found these strategies too. Your shares and reviews help more course creators discover how to get their knowledge out into the world. Please take a moment to rate the show and leave a quick review. When you do, we get to reach more people and we make a bigger impact together. Because when more people who help people succeed, the world becomes a better place. Thank you.